Hi, I'm Eva. 3 years ago, my mom died from cancer and my whole world fell apart. Dad spent 2 years being a complete zombie before he met Diane. Within 6 months, they were married, and suddenly I had a stepmom who's way too eager to replace my real mother. You should really start calling me Mom, Diane told me last week while reorganizing my mother's china cabinet. It would make your father happy. My mother's been dead for 3 years, not 30. I already have a mom, I replied, watching her handle my mother's teacups like they were dollar store items. I've tried talking to my best friend Zoe about it, but she comes from this perfect, intact family and doesn't fully get it. Maybe she's just trying to bond with you, Zoe suggested yesterday while we were grabbing coffee. People are awkward with this stuff. There's awkward and then there's psycho. She literally crossed out Mom on my mother's recipe cards and wrote Diane's recipes on them. My boyfriend Marcus gets it better. His parents divorced when he was 12, and his dad's new wife tried the same crap. Just keep your distance, Marcus advised. These control freaks feed off conflict. Don't give her the satisfaction. The only person who truly understands is my Aunt Claire. She's my mom's sister and looks so much like her it hurts sometimes. Your mother would be proud of how you're handling this, Claire told me when I visited her last weekend. Just remember, nobody can replace her. Not in your heart and not in this family. That made me feel better until tonight's disaster at Carmichael's restaurant. Dad suggested a family dinner to improve relations. I should have known it was a setup. Everything was fine until I asked Diane to pass the salt. Diane, could you pass the salt, please? Her face transformed instantly. She grabbed my wrist so hard I dropped my fork. I have asked you repeatedly to call me Mom. This disrespect has to stop. The entire restaurant went silent. I could feel everyone staring. You're hurting me, I said, trying to pull away. Diane, let go, my dad finally intervened. But too late. Tom, I cannot believe you're letting her treat me this way. I am her mother now. She's not my mother, I said, my voice shaking. And she never will be. That's when Dad completely betrayed me. Eva, apologize to your mother right now. I stared at him in disbelief. She's not my mother. See what I deal with? Diane threw her napkin down dramatically. No respect whatsoever. I stood up, tears burning my eyes. My mother's name was Sarah, and she would be heartbroken to see you replace her so easily. I walked out, humiliated and shaking. My phone's been blowing up with texts from Dad saying I embarrassed them and need to apologize. Yeah, right. I'm done playing nice. If Diane wants war, she's got it. By the time I'm finished, everyone's going to see exactly what kind of person she really is. I drove straight to Aunt Claire's house after the restaurant disaster, barely able to see through my tears. She opened the door, took one look at my face, and pulled me inside. He took her side, Claire. My own father. Come sit down, honey. Tell me everything. I spilled the whole ugly scene, pacing back and forth in her living room. She grabbed me hard enough to leave marks, see? I pushed up my sleeve to show the red finger marks on my wrist. And Dad just sat there like I was the problem. Claire examined my wrist carefully. Have you documented this? Take photos right now. Why? It's not like anyone's going to believe me over St. Diane. Because patterns matter, Ava. If she's done this once, she'll do it again. Your mother dealt with a bully in her office years ago. Documentation was what finally stopped it. I crashed at Claire's that night, and when I finally went home the next day, the house was empty. I headed to my room only to find something off. My journal wasn't where I'd left it. After searching for 20 minutes, I found it tucked under my mattress instead of in my desk drawer. I flipped through and noticed some pages were slightly bent, like someone had been reading it. A knock at my door made me jump. My half-brother Jake stood there, looking uncomfortable. You okay after last night? That was pretty intense. Did you take my journal, Jake? He shook his head. No, but I've seen Diane in your room before. When you're not home. My stomach dropped. What? Why didn't you tell me? Because she's always got some excuse, like putting away laundry or whatever. But Jake glanced over his shoulder. She talks about you a lot when Dad's not around. What does she say? That you're ungrateful, manipulative, that you're trying to come between her and Dad because you're jealous. Last week, she told her friend on the phone that you need psychological help. I felt sick. Does Dad know? I don't think so. She's super nice whenever he's around. It's like watching someone put on a mask. That's when I decided to set a trap. I ordered a small voice recorder online with overnight delivery. When it arrived, I tested it, then hid it in my desk drawer, the same one where I kept my journal. Sure enough, 2 days later, I checked the recording and heard Diane's voice clear as day. Little brat thinks she's so smart. Let's see what secrets she's keeping from Daddy. I waited until I knew we'd be alone in the house. As soon as Dad left for work and Jake for school, I confronted her. I know you've been reading my journal, Diane. She didn't even deny it. As the adult in this house, I have every right to monitor what goes on under my roof. It's not your roof. This was my mom's house before you ever showed up. Her face twisted with anger. Your mother is gone, and the sooner you accept that I'm your mother now, the better off you'll be. The recorder was running in my pocket as she continued. Your attitude is wearing thin. Keep this up, and I'll convince your father you need serious help. Maybe a boarding school. Or better yet, I'll persuade him to cut you off financially. No more college fund. I played the recording for Zoe and Marcus that afternoon at the coffee shop. Holy shit, Zoe whispered. She's actually threatening you. Marcus leaned forward. This is good, but we need more. Your dad might still think this is just one bad moment. We need to catch her in a bigger lie, Zoe agreed. Something he can't ignore. Later that night, I decided to check my bank account balance. Mom had left money specifically for my education, and Dad was the trustee until I turned 21. What I found made my blood run cold. There had been 3 withdrawals in the past month, totaling $5,000, all authorized by the secondary account holder, Diane. I printed the bank statements and marched straight to Dad's home office, playing the audio recording of Diane threatening to cut off my college fund. Dad's face went through several emotions before landing on defensive. She was probably just frustrated. You two have been at odds. She's stealing from my college fund, Dad. I slapped down the bank statements. $5,000? Gone. He scanned the papers, frowning. There must be some explanation. Maybe she moved it to a better account or... Are you serious right now? She's stealing from me. Don't use that word. I'm sure Diane has a perfectly reasonable explanation. I stormed out, realizing I needed more concrete evidence. 2 days later, I ran into Michael, Dad's work colleague, at the grocery store. Ava, how are you holding up? I heard about the incident at Carmichael's. What exactly did you hear? Michael shifted uncomfortably. Well, Diane mentioned you had some sort of breakdown. Said you've been having psychological issues since your mom passed. She told everyone at the office party last week. She said what? None of that is true? She's lying to everyone, including my father. That conversation sealed it. I called Zoe, Marcus, and Aunt Claire for an emergency strategy session. We need to catch her in the act, Marcus said. Something your dad can't deny. What about your mom's birthday dinner next week? Zoe suggested. Everyone will be there. Aunt Claire nodded. My house is perfect. We can set up in the living room. And I'll make sure there's a moment when you two are alone in the kitchen. The night of the dinner arrived. Aunt Claire had invited Dad, Diane, Jake, some family friends, and even Michael from Dad's office. I made sure to be perfectly polite to Diane all evening. After dinner, Aunt Claire gave the signal. Ava, could you help me get dessert ready in the kitchen? As planned, Diane volunteered instead. Let me help, Claire. Eva should spend time with her father. Actually, I need Eva's help with my special recipe. Family secret. Claire winked at me. Once in the kitchen, Claire loudly excused herself. I need to grab something from the basement. Be right back. The moment she left, Diane cornered me. I know what you're doing, you manipulative little bitch. I kept my voice steady. I don't know what you mean, Diane. Don't play innocent. I saw those bank statements in your room. You're trying to turn your father against me. You mean the statements showing you stole from my college fund? That money is wasted on you anyway. Your father and I could use it for a proper family vacation. It's not your money to take. Her face twisted with rage. When will you get it through your thick skull? I'm in charge now. I am your mother. You are not my mother. That's when she grabbed my shoulders and shoved me against the refrigerator, hard enough that magnets clattered to the floor. You will call me Mom, or I swear I'll make your life a living hell. The kitchen door swung open. Dad stood there, his face pale with shock. Aunt Claire and everyone else right behind him. Diane. What are you doing? She immediately let go. Tom, this isn't what it looks like. She attacked me first. I heard everything, Dad said quietly. The basement door was open to the kitchen vent. We all heard everything. Diane's face went from rage to panic in an instant. You set me up, she hissed at me. No, Dad replied. You revealed who you really are. The drive home was dead silent. Dad took me in his car while Diane drove separately. Once home, he finally spoke. I'm so sorry, Eva. I should have believed you from the beginning. Yeah, you should have. I just wanted us to be a family again so badly that I ignored the signs. Signs? She physically assaulted me, twice. That's not a sign, that's a flashing neon billboard. Dad winced. You're right. I failed you. The next morning, Dad drove me to the courthouse where we filed for a temporary restraining order against Diane. The judge granted it immediately after seeing the photos of my wrist and hearing the audio recordings. What happens now? I asked as we left. I've already called a divorce attorney, and we're changing the locks today. When we got home, Diane was waiting on the porch with red eyes. Tom, please, can we talk about this? Dad stepped in front of me protectively. There's nothing to discuss. You assaulted my daughter. You stole from her college fund. You're not welcome here. It was a momentary lapse. I've been under so much pressure trying to be accepted in this family. Save it, I snapped. You're holding a court order that says you can't come within 100 feet of me. Ava, I'm truly sorry. I never meant to hurt you. You're only sorry you got caught. Dad opened the front door for me. Diane, you need to leave. Now. My lawyer will contact yours. 2 weeks later, Jake came to visit. He'd been staying with his mom but wanted to talk. I should have told you everything sooner, about the way she talked about you. It's not your fault, Jake. She put you in a terrible position. Dad says I can move back in if I want. I'd like that. The house is too quiet with just me and Dad tiptoeing around each other. Speaking of Dad, our relationship was still strained. He kept trying to make amends with expensive gifts and overly cheerful conversations. You don't have to buy my forgiveness, I told him after he presented me with a new laptop. I know. I just don't know how to fix this. Start by listening to me, really listening, and promise you'll never dismiss my concerns again. I promise. Meanwhile, Diane's reputation imploded. Michael made sure everyone at Dad's office knew the truth. Aunt Claire spread the word through the family network. Zoe and Marcus told their parents, who told their friends. Diane made one last desperate attempt at the divorce hearing. I've enrolled in anger management classes. I'm seeing a therapist. Please, Tom, everyone deserves a second chance. Dad didn't budge. Not after what you did to my daughter. The judge ordered Diane to repay every penny she took from my account, with interest. 6 months later, we held a small memorial for Mom on her birthday. Dad, Jake, Aunt Claire, Zoe, Marcus, and me. Just the people who truly cared. Your mother would be proud of how you stood up for yourself, Aunt Claire said, squeezing my hand. I wish she was here. Me too, sweetheart. Later that night, Dad and I sat on the porch swing, looking at old family photos. I miss her every day, he said softly. Me too. I'm sorry I tried to replace her. That wasn't fair to any of us, especially you. I leaned my head on his shoulder. Not fully forgiven, but a start. No one could ever replace Mom, but we're still a family. You, me, and Jake. The real family she would have wanted us to be. What do you think? Does a step-parent ever have the right to demand being called Mom or Dad? Or should that title always be earned through respect and time? Have you ever dealt with someone trying to force a relationship or role they hadn't earned? What did you do? If you enjoyed Eva's revenge story, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. Share your thoughts in the comments below.